So in this video, we are going to talk about this particular group. If you see on the top left corner, how to do a group by, how to use the first row as header, how to transpose the data if it is not in a manner that you want, how to reverse the rows, sometimes it is required, and how to count the rows also. So let us talk about them. Let me first show you group by option. For this, what I'll be doing is, as I've discussed about merge in the previous video, I'm going to get a couple of columns here from the customers table. To do this, I'll simply go to the home tab, and I'm repeating that procedure, merge queries, right? And I'll simply search for the products table because that is something I need to get the values from, the columns from. So I'm going to pick up the it is going to be the customers table, not the products table. Customers table, I'm selecting the customer key because that is something which is common in both the tables. And now you can see it has matched all those values. Now we need to pick up the columns, the desired columns. For this, I'll simply click OK. Once it has been done, you can see the new column as we have discussed in the previous video. Then we have this table links are coming. We don't need the entire table, so we are going to click on this double arrow. And here I don't want everything. What I'll do, suppose I need gender as well as I need occupation. These two columns I need out of the entire customer table. Through that, I'll show you that how to use that group by option. And I don't want to keep the original name as prefix, so I'll also uncheck it. Otherwise, it will show that D customer in front of the column name, which I don't want. Okay. And there we go. I've got these two columns with me, right? In front of each customer key over here, you can see, right? Okay, now I need to group it. So how to group it? Let's see how we can actually do it. To do so, if you see under the home tab on the right hand side, we have a group by option available. And under the transform tab, we also have a group by option. Let's go with any one of the options that you want. And now we're going to use it. Now, why do we use a group by option? It is sometimes important when you don't want to bring the entire data. You don't want to load the entire data into Power BI desktop application. Sometimes you may need to have only limited values. You don't want all these columns of the sales table. No, you may need only the summarized view. Maybe just like you have used a pivot table in Excel, similar to that, I'm saying if you need a summarized data to be loaded into Power BI desktop application, then this function will be useful. So it's an option that I'm talking about right now. Okay. Based on, I would say, so what I want to say is that gender wise, total quantity sold. This is the only thing that I need as part of my data. I don't need the entire table. So I'll simply go over here and choose gender, because based on the gender, I need to group. Second, name of the column, the calculated column, which is the total quantity. So I'll simply say total quantity. And what do I need to do? Do I need to do sum, count, average, what? I need to do the sum of what? Order quantity. So if you read it, it's quite simple. What I need to do? I need to do the sum of the quantity, which is based on the gender. For each gender, it is going to show us the total quantity, and that is what I need as a part of my model. So I'll simply say OK, and entire table will get converted into those two columns only. Look at that. So it is just one gender, and you can see female. So with the total quantity that we have sold to female customers are this one, and male customers are this one, and rest we are not known. And this is how the quantity we have sold, right? So if you simply go over here, say close and apply, only this two set of values will be getting into our model, not any other column. Okay, so you have now a power that if you want to summarize the huge amount of data and load it onto only what you need, this can be done using this. As of now, I'll simply don't want it. I want the entire table. I'll just close it. But before that, I want to also show you the advanced part of this. So I'm not going to cross it. I'm not going to remove it. I'm simply editing it. I'll just double click onto this. And now this box is open. Instead of the basic one, basic gives you the capability of only summarizing based on one column. I'll go with advanced where I can do it based on multiple columns. So suppose I want to do it based on gender as well as occupation. So I'll go with gender. I'll simply say add a grouping level, and that is going to be occupation, which we just dropped it into the sales, right? And rest of the things are fine. So we'll be having 3 columns with us: gender, and based on the gender, every occupation will get mentioned, and inside that how much quantity we have sold. So I'll simply say okay, and nothing else needs to be done, and we'll be getting 3 columns out of this. There you go, right? Gender, occupation, and total quantity. So this is a way of summarizing the data if you don't need the entire table as a part of your model, right? I'll simply remove it because I need the entire table. So you can just practice it based on this file. Okay, so that was about grouping. Let us just go to the next part, which is use first row as header. For this, what I'll be doing is I will be adding one more table along with this so that we can carry on our model also by understanding all these features of Power Query. So I'll simply click on new source. You remember text or CSV, and let me just move my face cam here. Okay, we are looking for, let's say, product category. We got the product also. We are looking for product category. Let me just drop it over here. 1 second. Okay, let me just drop it over here. Product category. Okay, it's coming up, and yes, so this is the kind of data we have. This is basically product category keys as well as the categories that this company is dealing in: bikes, its components, clothing, and accessories. I'll say okay because we are into Power Query, so we can simply say okay. We can't load it directly over there, and this is how it looks like. Correct. Now let's go to transform, and even before this option I want to show you transpose, because the data that you see over here, it is not looking the way it is. I mean, it has to be in a vertical manner, right? Then only it will be able to match the rest of the tables. Will be having the desired model in front of us too. So how you can transpose it, because in general in Excel, if you do it, you have to use the transpose, and the same feature we are having over here also. Interesting, very useful, right? So first of all, I will be selecting all the all the table. So how we can do it? Simply, you can simply click the first one and then press shift and select the last one, so that it will be selecting everything. This is what we call click shift click technique. So we have selected everything, and now under the transform, you have the transpose option available. Let me just click on this, and you will notice that that's it. We are done. The table has been transposed, and now we got the key as well as the name of the category also. So I can simply rename this. So let me just rename it over here by just double clicking onto this. I will say category key, right, and category name. That's it. So we have assigned the name, and right now if you see the data type is not been detected. So what you can do, we can simply click on the data type, and let me just choose whole number right now. It's okay. And for this, I'll simply choose a text or a string. So good to go. And another thing that I have to do, if you see over here, the name of the table. Right now, I don't need to have this big name because I need to use the same into the DEX functions, and I've already told you keep it very short, simple, so that it will become easier to write those DEX functions later on. I will simply say it's a dimension table or a fact table. Think about it. I'm just giving you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. It's not a fact table. It's a dimension table as discussed earlier, right? So I'm just putting D in front of it. D hyphen categories. So there we go. We've got it. And that's it about this table. So we understood a couple of things here. We understood group by, we understood transpose. Let us talk about reverse rows, count rows, and use first row as header, I'm going to add another table over here, which I've just told you. It's going to be territories, right? So I'll click on the drop down and let's go with the text or CSV. And let me just bring in the territories table, open, and there we go. It's coming up. Okay, so here we go. I'll simply say okay, and I'll be having the list of all the territories this company is operating in. And it is giving us what it is capturing. They are capturing the sales territory key. They are capturing the revenue. Region, country, and continent, right? So let us see all those things which we can do and perform over here onto this data to clean it up, to transform the data, right? So suppose use first row as header. If you see, by default, the Power BI has already promoted the headers. That is the reason you can see the first row is coming in the form of headers. I don't want it, right? Let me just remove it first and show you. Sometime it happens, it is a practical problem that happens in Power BI, that sometimes it couldn't able to recognize the first row as header. Now what to do? You have to perform something over here. You have to perform an action, and the action is, if you just go to the home tab on the right hand side, there is an option of use first row as headers. Also under the transform, you have use first row as header. So you can see your first row is a header, right? So you can simply click on this and you will notice that now it has promoted the header also, and also detected the data type, which is good. So sometimes it is useful. That is why I'm just exploring this function in front of you. And then reverse the rows. See, this is also important. I remember those Excel days when I used to get the data, and I had to reverse the entire data. In some situation it is required. So when there was not any supporting number column, I used to create an index column over there, 1 2 3 4 kind of, and then I used to sort it so that all the rows will shuffle upside down. Now in this case, suppose you don't have this territory key. Let me just remove it. You don't have any number, any column with this. You need not to create a supporting column for the same. You can simply come over here and click on reverse rows, and boom, it's been reversed, right? So these things you can do over here. Definitely you can remove these steps if you don't want it. We also don't want it. I'm just showing some options to you. We'll remove it. And then there is an option of count rows. We can clearly see that there is a count of 10 over there at the bottom, right? But for a huge table like sales 2015, if you see, the maximum capacity Power BI can show you is 999 plus rows kind of. Okay, so they don't know how many rows are there. So what you can do, you can simply come over here and say count rows. Okay, you can click on it and it will convert the entire table into one single value, that is 2630 rows are there. So this way you can do it. Let me just remove it. Got it? So through this you can simply check it. Let me just go to the territories table once again and let me remove the steps because I don't want. So if you are doing these things with me, so make sure to be on the same page. Also, I believe the types are fine, data types are fine. Just let me change the name of this table to D-territories because it's a dimension table, right? So that's it, guys. So far you have understood group by, use first row as headers, transpose, reverse rows, count rows. Many things we have done only into this video because these are very small things. I thought that we should put all these things into one single video, and it will become easier for you to understand these quick options in just one single clip, right? Thank you so much, guys. Let's watch another video.